Let's find some day trades, swing trades, and option trades. Hello, traders. It is July 2nd, Thursday morning. Had a lot of excitement this morning. Non-farm payrolls came in much better than expected. 4.8 million, 3.23 million was expected. Yesterday, we had a great ADP report. 2.3 million new jobs. That was in line with the expectations. But the big news came yesterday when ADP revised its number for May. They revised it from a loss of 2.76 million jobs to a gain of 3.06 million jobs, so almost a 6 million job turnaround there. We had ISM manufacturing come in yesterday. That was much better than expected. 52.6 reading. That's in expansion territory, much better than the 49.2 that was feared, and the market has responded. Let's take a look at the S&P 500 and see what's going on here. You can see this massive gap higher that we had right on the open, right up to that 1550 level, which was prior resistance. So let's go into the daily chart and see how this shows up right here. That is a resistance line right there at SPY 1550. So we knew we were going to hit some resistance right there, and we did. You can see how this downward sloping trend line on the SPY has been breached to the upside. I've been referencing this the last couple of days. We'll put up the major moving averages. We have to get our market bearings before we do anything else. You can see the 200-day moving average coming into play right here. We tested it twice, but each time we tested it multiple times. So that confirms support here. You could see that we were starting to grind higher. As soon as we were starting to breach that downward sloping trend line, I knew we had a chance to move higher. We've got earnings season coming up in 2 weeks. The bid is usually strong heading into earnings season. The front end of that earnings cycle is front end loaded with the strongest companies reporting, so nobody wants to be short ahead of earnings season. I think we're going to continue to float higher. The economic news has certainly been great, so we've had that working for us. I'm bullish for the next 3 or 4 weeks, but I do see some problems ahead in August. I'm not going to really go over those points too much. I'll just say that I think that the sugar high from the PPP is going to start to wane. Some of that money is going to start running out. The coronavirus has been super stubborn. It's continuing to haunt us. I think that the recovery is going to be slower than expected. So until then, we have a pretty decent market to work with right now. We want to sell out of the money bullish put spreads. So that is our game plan. Now we're going to go into the 5-minute chart. I want to show you what governs our trading every single day. It's an indicator that I spent 10 years developing. You can see how we had this opening gap higher on the S&P 500. As the market was grinding higher, I told everyone, I said, listen, we're coming up on major resistance at that 315.50 level. I know this is exciting news. I know we've got stocks absolutely flying higher, but we do not want to buy until we can see what's happening with the market. We have to be very careful of a gap reversal because we have gapped up to a relative high. And that's when these tend to happen, and they happen early in the day. As the market was grinding higher, right here, 30 minutes into the open, I said, folks, look out. We got this bearish cross on the 1OP indicator, and if we take out this low right here, we're going to go back and fill in some of this gap. That's exactly what happened. So the market started to pull back and pull back. I did get short in here. I ended up getting shaken out on this little bounce right in here. I ended up scratching the short that I had on. Ended up being a nice winner. It's okay, no problem, because as the market came down here, you see this downward sloping trend line on a 5-minute basis on the S&P 500. That happened to coincide with a bullish 1OP cross. Aha! Then we get a nice bullish hammer right there. That is an excellent buying opportunity. So we started to pile into stocks that had relative strength, and the market has been continuing to grind higher. So what's going to happen the rest of the day? A little difficult to say. We had great economic numbers, but we're in pre-holiday mode. I think a lot of traders are going to take off. They're not going to stick around the entire day. Are we going to get through SPY 315.50, the high of the day? Probably not. That's backed off a lot from that high. Are we going to roll over and fill in the gap? That's possible, and then a nice little late day rally. The point is, I think that there's not going to be a lot of action one way or the other right now. We've seen the fireworks. We saw the gap higher. We almost filled in that gap, almost got down to the prior day's high. So I think that's where support is going to form, and we'll probably just chop around the rest of the day. So there have been some great trading opportunities, though, and I want to show you exactly how everything played out this morning. So we had this nice big sell-off right here, and I was starting to look for relative strength as the market was coming in. Super, super easy to do. All you have to do is look on this list, and Roku was coming up. And you can see how Roku pulled back on the open, found nice support in here, and then look how it started to grind higher. I'm going to back this chart off just a little bit so we can compare the entire day. Okay, there's the entire day of the S&P 500. There's the entire day of Roku. So as the market's starting to bottom out right here, and that was about hour and 40 minutes into trading when the market started to bottom out. Here you can see how Roku had already made a new high of the day, and it was making a high. It was above the prior day's high, and look at that strength the day before. So I've got a stock with relative strength. We'll put up the SPY overlay. There you can see market down, 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 down. Roku flatlining and creeping higher as the market is still searching for that low. I'm in. I'm all over it. As soon as I saw Roku starting to move higher, I bought what we call a lotto play. So the lotto play is I bought the Roku July 2nd, 130 calls that expire today. And so the stock was at about 129.50 at the time, and those calls were trading at $1.19. I'm not expecting you to believe me, so I'm going to show you. There's the chat room. I can minimize that to make it a little bit easier. You can see how this is an hour. This is 10:20 Central Time, so we're about an hour and 50 minutes into trading. And right in here, bought Roku Lotto 130 calls for $1.19. You can check the timestamp on this trade right here. I know that they traded for less than $1.19, and I had actually bought some Roku stock right in here at the 1020 mark, and I had bought the stock for $129.12, so it was already on my radar. And then I saw that relative strength and an opportunity for a lotto trade. Now, these lotto trades, everything has to line up perfectly. Well, what do you mean by that? I mean that you better dang well know that you're going to get a market tailwind, and you better have that relative strength in the underlying stock. You must have both pieces. The other thing is I wanted to make sure that Roku was through the prior day's high and that it was within striking distance of that 130 strike price, because it has to get in the money. Only when it gets in the money do those options start trading at parity, and then the market makers can't play games with you with wide bid-ask spreads, because the options have to trade in tandem with the price of the underlying stock. I'm going to take this SPY overlay off. And so exactly what I'm telling you about is we had that market pulling back right here. You've got the 1OP indicator bottoming out. You have the market bottoming out right in here. You get a bullish hammer right there. You've got the downward sloping trend line on a 5-minute basis for the SPY breached to the upside. So now it looks like we're going to get at least a little bit of a bounce, and we already know that Roku is powering higher because it's been able to get through the high of the day from Wednesday, and we're only about 50 cents out from the 130 strike price. Well, what did the stock do? It flew higher. And what happened? I sold half of the position for better than a 100% profit in 15 minutes. It went there right away. All I needed was this little pop in the market. Well, when I sell half the position for more than 100%, that means, in essence, I have the other half of the position for free. I can't lose money on the trade. I've already locked in my entire profits. Now I can let the market do whatever it wants. Now I can let the stock do whatever it wants. You can see how strong Roku is today. I did take profits in here because I saw a red bar and another red bar, and I was also watching the 10p indicator. It had crested right up here. I saw a couple of really tight little doji formations, which told me that there was going to be resistance up here. So I got out, I took my profits on the entire position. I made about 115% in aggregate on the trade. I'm happy with that. I really didn't expect much to happen today, Thursday, on a pre-holiday trading session. Roku still looks great, and it's been coming up on a lot of our searches. So we can take a look at some of the other stocks. It's not just Roku. There are plenty of other stocks that were starting to come into play. Whether it's trading lottos or trading the underlying stock, this is exactly the formula that we use every single day. We use this 10p indicator on the S&P 500. It tells us when we should be long. It tells us when we should be taking profits on our longs. It tells us when we should be short. It tells us when we should be taking profits on our shorts. And then we simply go into the option stalker platform and we find stocks with relative strength when we need to be buying. We find stocks with relative weakness when we should be shorting. Right in here, we're trapped in a range. Long tails under body, tiny little doji formation. This is a time when you sit on the sidelines and you wait. There are moments when you need to be on the sidelines. This is one of them. If you've got a stock that's a monster that's just powering higher, okay, maybe you can try and scalp it as the market flatlines and the stock pops higher like Roku just did. But in general, I think the day is going to be really dead the rest of the time. So this is our governor. This is what we use to get in and out of trades. And I run this SPY chart on a 5-minute basis, and I tuck it behind my option stalker screen. So anytime I want, I can expand the SPY. Anytime I want, I click on the main screen and I can overlay it right back. So now I'm going to keep the last hour or so of the SPY running so we can constantly watch what the market's doing. I'm going to take off these major moving averages. We don't really need them on a 5-minute basis, so I'm going to clear those out, and then we'll continue to look to see what else we've got cooking today. I like Roku. Let's go to the daily chart and see what else is setting up there. You can see how the stock is trying to get through this horizontal resistance. That's another reason that I was pretty happy to take profits on it. So let's take a look at some other stocks that we've got in the works right now. I'm just going to go into a relative strength 30 search right now. So that's all we're going to be looking at. And you can see here, MTCH, that was actually a spinoff. We've got Boeing, little bit of strength here, but I don't like it. Yes, cup and handle formation here. We've got the neckline right here. You could trade it a little bit to the upside, but it's not through the prior day's high. I don't like it. I want stocks that have a clear path. They have blown through all resistance. Facebook put in a really good day yesterday. So as I click through these, I want you to recognize what I like and what I don't like. ZS. I'm really liking this relative strength here. Look at this. This is what the market's doing. Nothing. Nothing. This stock is making these moves all on its own. The volume is decent. Long green candles closing on their high. ZS wants to go. It's almost through the prior day's high. This is the opening bar today, so you can see there was early strength. I like it. I think ZS is going to continue to power higher. And I'm going to go post that right now in my chat room so that members can take a look at this stock. All I had to do was put the symbol in. If I see something I like, every member can type in the symbol and go, yep, I see it. Here we've got Win trying to get through this relative resistance level here at the $78 level. It has been a super weak stock. So this would also not be a favorite pick of mine. But if I'm day trading it, I really don't care. I've got a downward sloping trend line right here. That has been breached to the upside. Let's put up the major moving averages to see if they come into play anywhere. And I've got the 200-day and the 100-day. There's going to be some resistance in it. This is just momentum trading as far as Win is concerned. So not overly interested in that. This is on the relative strength 30 search. So You can see market flatline for the last 30 minutes. These stocks are strong in the last 30 minutes. Let's go into heavy buying. And there you can see the monsters today. Oh my God, these stocks have been so hot. We've had so many members just nailing all of these. Tesla. I wouldn't touch Tesla right here, not on a gap like that. But if you had this downward sloping trend line and you're watching it and you had relative strength, so I'm going to put up the 1OSI indicator on a 5-minute basis. You got this downward sloping trend line. You have the stock breaching that downward sloping trend line. You've got it with relative strength. I'm going to put up our buy and sell signals. And so this is probably where you'd be in on that trade. You've got a buy signal. You've got relative strength. You're through this downward sloping trend line. You're above the prior day's high. Those are all really good characteristics. And of course, you want to make sure that you have the market tailwind that you need. Right now, the market's not going to be a drag and it's not going to be a tailwind. It's just going to flatline the rest of the day. So there's an opportunity to pick off some nice little trades and scalp when you have momentum like this. So this is another way to determine your entry and exit. The blue arrows, by the way, mean that you're stopped out of the position. But green arrow, stock, showing relative strength, orange line above zero. This is a nice entry point, plus all the other criteria that I showed you. Shop. Let's take a look at that, see what it's doing. It's been another high flyer. I don't see anything I really like in that one. DOCU. I don't know what the heck is up with this company, but man, have they been flying. And then we come down to TWLO. I really like this stock. I liked it early. I got in a little bit early on the trade. I did make money on it. I saw this relative strength early in the day right here, and the market was going down. So I'm going to put up the SPY overlay one more time here. You can see stock gaps higher, market down, 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 down. I got into TWLO right up in here because I love this move. When it can move against the market like that, it's going to continue to power higher. I had to weather the storm. I didn't want to bail on it because I like the daily chart. I'm going to show you that in a few minutes. I did get out here. I took a nice $1 profit on that trade. And look at the daily chart, and you see why I like it. So this stock has continued to move higher and grind higher. And I showed you this yesterday because there was a bullish put spread that I highlighted. That's in excellent shape right now. Plus, I also posted this stock to Twitter. So make sure that you click the link that I'm going to have in the description today in the YouTube video. You'll be able to follow me on Twitter. I post my pre-open market comments before the open every day. You get a good read of what's going on, what's driving the market, where I think it's going to go. I leave commentary for swing traders. I leave commentary for day traders. And then I try and put up a couple of trades early in the morning. Another one that I put up this morning that I like it a little bit more on a swing trading basis, is I like Abbott. And I like it because you've got this downward sloping channel right here. There's the upper bound, and there's the lower one. And now the stock has been able to poke through it. So nice solid company. You can see how it's breaking out through this previous horizontal resistance. I'll use the crosshair. That was resistance right there. And you can see how we're above it right here. I like it. It's got earnings coming up on July 17th. You can see the relative strength right here. This is a grinder. It's a choppy stock. Okay, so buy it, hold it. You should be able to do well before earnings. It should just continue to float a little bit higher. If you want to sell it out of the money, bullish put spread, unfortunately, you would want to sell it below these major moving averages. There's only one expiration before earnings, and that's July 10th. And I don't think that, well, there's no premium in it. I checked this morning. There wasn't anything worthwhile. But I do like that as a stock trade. Keep looking. Nothing there. This is good. PDD. It's a rocket ship, but it's through that horizontal resistance, and it's near its high of the day. So, nice looking stock. Really, really solid relative strength. We've had people on that one today as well. So, in the last hour of trading, provided that we have a market tailwind, which I don't believe we're going to have, we'll be looking for a few more lotto trades, and we're going to be trying to buy these options for 5 cents, 10 cents, 15 cents, and sell them for 30, 40, 60, 70 cents. We'll see if we get that opportunity. Right now, I don't know. I'm a little skeptical because I don't think we're going to see much in the way of market movement from now until the close ahead of the holiday. So I'm going to continue to go down the list. NIO, this is an electric car manufacturer in China. Woof, hello. This looks like a great stock to day trade. Look at that run, really nice relative strength. You can see it in that orange line right there. You can see how the market is trying to get through this resistance level. So I'm going to click alert. I'm going to click on this bar twice. Click, click. Now I've got a horizontal alert line, and during the presentation, I will know if that has been breached to the upside. I'd like to know that. So yes, I think NIO on a pullback would be decent for a day trade. You don't want to be chasing anything right now. You don't have the market pushing higher, so don't go chasing a stock like this. But if it gives you an opportunity and it pulls back and it dips, and you see that the market is still stable, and you get a bullish hammer, get a couple of long tails under body, okay, I think you can come in and you can buy it. And if you had that prior day's high as a support level you were leaning on, sure, that's the type of trade that will work. In general, you don't want to be doing a lot of trading right now. I think the best move is probably to just do a little bit of research and maybe take the rest of the day off. So we've got PINS. I do like this. Bounced off of that 200-day moving average, bullish hammer, trying to get through this little resistance level here. You'd need to see it close above this resistance level. If it closes on its high of the day, I think PINS is one that you're going to be looking at next week. It should be able to continue to move higher. Gold. Let's take a look at gold because it had been on a lot of searches earlier today. Remember earlier this week, I showed you this horizontal breakout above the 164 level on GLD. I had suggested to you selling the 163 put, buying the 162 put, doing that for a credit of 18 cents. That trade was very doable. We had a pullback in GLD yesterday, and now it's off to the races again. So that's a very nice one. Expires July 10th. Next week we come back. Monday is going to be a holiday hangover. I'm not expecting a lot to happen. That means you've only got really 4 days to get through, and these spreads will expire worthless. So I really like that as well. I think GLD performs well for quite a while. It's a nice horizontal breakout on that one. Continue to go down. Nothing there. Nothing there. That's got some pretty nice momentum here. SONO. Take a look at bull run. Let's see what's hot right now. And if I went into a 5-minute chart, you would see why these are coming up. Twitter's interesting. I like it above this 100-day moving average. I wouldn't sell a bullish put spread there. I can hover over the E. You can see earnings are coming up on 7/24. We're heading into earnings season in 2 weeks. So if you're selling out of the money bullish put spreads, you want to make sure that you're hovering over that E to find out when earnings are going to be released. Your bullish put spreads need to expire before the earnings announcement. And so there's a 7/17 option expiration. That's normal option expiration date for July. If you can sell the 7/17 expiration, Twitter puts, keying off of that $28 support level, I think that's going to be a pretty decent trade. I don't know that there's much premium in that, given that the stock is $3 out of the money. I would expect the 100-day moving average to hold. I certainly would expect that horizontal support at $28 to hold. So that's the type of thing I would be checking. Continue to take a look here. See if there's anything that really catches my eye. We're going to do one more quick search here. See if there's anything that looks good. See, when I look at a stock like Lululemon, it's down $2.80. I'm not interested. I'm only interested in the stocks that are up on the day because then I know that they are through the prior day's high. I'm looking for stocks that are through resistance points. Very, very important because then they have a clear path to run higher and they could really go. Anything that's got heavy resistance above like this, it's just the move is going to be very, very capped. So we need to have that momentum. One final look at heavy buying. So to recap, Tesla looked pretty good. TWLO, I really like that. PDD looked excellent. Roku, really like Roku in here. NIO looked excellent. WKHS, I don't know what the heck. This is just a rocket shot here. Probably a good stock to day trade today. I know some of the members have been on this one. Right in here, they got on board, but in good conscience, this thing is so high. I can't trade a stock that was at $3 a couple of weeks ago and now it's at $22. In my opinion, this is probably going to be a short somewhere along the line, but you don't short it up here. You wait for major technical breaches and then you can get behind those. So NIO, Roku, PDD, TWLO, Tesla. Those are the stocks I would focus on today. Look for a very quiet trading session. Those are ones that might set up well for an options lottery play. I think Abbott sets up well for a nice longer term swing that's not too volatile, so you can also take that one into account. Please make sure to click the link and to follow me on Twitter because I am going to be posting a couple of stock trades early in the morning. Really easy for me to do. I just have to annotate a chart, boom, put it up. Much easier than recording these videos. And also make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel and turn on your notifications so that you never miss these videos because they all have really good trading ideas in them. And I'd like to wish all of you a very happy 4th of July. Please enjoy your celebration, the birth of the greatest nation in the world, and please fly your flags high. Be proud of your country. Thanks. Have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday morning. Thank you for watching this YouTube video. I'm Pete Stolzers and I'm going to keep the trade ideas coming along with lots of education, so make sure to subscribe to the channel and please turn on your notifications so that you never miss another trade. If you like the content, please give it a thumbs up. I've loaded 2 other videos that I think you're really going to enjoy. Stay tuned. We'll see you soon.